Sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. Hopefully you joined in and are feeling open and a little more alive. The next song I'm going to do is Violet in the Snow. It's one I traditionally do at Christmas time. When it all began, God was so very far away. A mighty king baby came like a violet in the snow. Then the shepherds came and the angels sang throughout the night. And the light of the star, it vanished, hopelessness and fright. For our brother has come, and now we know that God is love. For many years ago, in Bethlehem, a baby came like a violet in the snow. So many years ago, in Bethlehem, a baby came like a violet in the snow.
Good morning, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and all parts near and far. I'm the Reverend Glenda Walden, and I want to welcome you to actually our third Advent Sunday. I misprinted that in the order of service that Kat had. On this day, we celebrate the gift of love that we are and that we have received, not just at Christmas, but in every day of our lives. Today we light our Christ candle in celebration of that gift. I'm going to invite you to repeat our affirmation after me. On this day in Advent.
On this day in Advent,
I receive love graciously.
I receive love graciously
and reflect it to the whole world.
and reflect it to the whole world.
So I know that's really long, so I'll have you repeat it after me again. And then the third time, we'll try to say it together. On this day of Advent.
On this day of Advent,
I receive love graciously.
I receive love graciously
and reflect it to the whole world.
and reflect it to the whole world.
And now let's try saying that together wherever we are. On this day of Advent, I receive love graciously and reflect it to the whole world. We are part of a much larger ministry that goes all around the globe. And that ministry is founded on this idea that our thoughts create our reality, and that our thoughts held in prayer together can change lives. And so this morning, we enter into this holy, sacred moment together. So I invite you wherever you are to take a deep breath in, to close your eyes, and if it is part of your faith tradition, to bow your heads. And as we breathe in the grace of divine love, we know that our hearts are like mirrors that reflect that love out into the world. If there are those who are on your heart or on your mind this morning, for whom you would like to beam a special extra dose of love, I invite you wherever you are to say those names aloud, because every name carries a vibration and energy, and we want that energy to enter in to this vibration of love. In this sacred moment, we hold the names of Eddie and Kim Lyle, our Unity Fort Wayne platform team, Lil, Juanita and Norman make an appearance. BB, RJ, Doug, the Esons, Teresa and Becky, Archer, Gaia, Harley, Bosco, the Bonars, Thomas and Edison, Gina, the Stewarts, the Westfalls, Curtis, Kaya, Christine and Laura, Patrick and the Walkmans, Helen, Nancy, Dale, Darren, and Kathy, Randy and Judy O, Mike and Pam, Jody S., all of those who are in the midst of fear around COVID, either because they are positive or someone they love is positive. We hold them especially in our hearts, sending healing prayers to all of those impacted by this pandemic. Knowing that in truth, we are whole, we are well, and there is a divine and perfect unfolding happening even in this moment. We breathe in and consciously breathe out love. Knowing that we are here by holy appointment this morning, no matter where, no matter when, heart to heart, we are always connected in unity as one heart, one love, one power, and one presence. And so it is, all women, all children. Amen.
No mountain, no valley, no gain or loss we know will keep us from your love. No sickness, no secret, no chain is strong enough to keep us from your love, to keep us from your love. Oh, no matter where I am, healing is in your hands. How deep, how strong, and now by your grace I stand. Healing is in your hands. Our present, our future, our past is in your
invite you just to breathe in the depth and the breath of that love. That love that is magnified at this time of year. But that love that is truly always present every year, every moment, every breath. Breathe in love. My spirit celebrates God, my liberator. My soul lifts up to that which created me. For though I am but a humble servant, God has noticed me. Now and forever, I will be considered blessed by all generations. For the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy, holy is the name of the One. From generation to generation, God's loving kindness endures for those who remember. One of my greatest desires is that when I pass from this plane, that those who are gathered to celebrate my life will say things like, she was well loved. Her life was blessed. She was a loving presence in this world. So it's time to open up a present. I told you last week it's my favorite thing. It's kind of like those of you who know me know that my birthday starts on July 1st and it ends on July 30th. And I like to have a present every day. So Christmas is kind of like that. The moment that they start playing Christmas music, I'm ready to open a present. I also like to give and receive presents. So our present this morning, and this has been particularly a sweet time for me because doing this Advent series with you has given me an opportunity to reflect on the gifts that I have received from others through the years that have held some special meaning for me. Those are the best gifts, right? The ones that come infused with that person's energy and, came from their heart. And today, of course, celebrating love, our present is a heart. And in the center of this heart, it says, breathe. I had a realization this week in speaking with a friend that when I think of love, an image that has become very alive for me is the image of the peace dove. And I found that really curious, that in the midst of a situation where I'm being called to love, the peace dove was the vision. And so I kind of thought about that. I reflected on that for about 24 hours now. And what I've come to realize is just what this heart says, that when we are encircled in love, when we are loving, the benefit of that is peace. My friend Kurt Condra, who starts the Advent devotional, in our Advent book this year. Every Sunday, he's the one that wrote the devotional. He tells about a multi-generational service that they had at his church where all the kids and the adults were all together. And he gathered all the kids around him and he said, tell me the story of Christmas. And so all the kids were kind of saying the typical things, that they're taught in Sunday school about the wise men, the star, and the angels. And they're talking about everybody gathering to see this baby. And this one little fellow says, those are people that usually don't hang out together. Shepherds, angels, wise men. No, not usually. Pregnant women don't usually want an audience. And that love begins with the recognition that we are loved. You see, we can't give away something that we don't have. We can't give away something that we don't know that we have. I should say that's more accurate. Because all of us come into this life loved. All of us, no matter what our circumstances, we are the breath of love on this earth. We just forget, or we don't know, or we've not been shown that we are always loved. That we can't give away something that we don't know already exists in us. I love the Song of Mary, which is what I shared with you. So that passage takes place in the scripture right after Mary has gone to visit her cousin, Elizabeth, who is quite old. And we talked about that yesterday. We talked about faith and the silence last week. And she's quite old and she's become pregnant. And the moment that Mary arrives, her baby jumps for joy within her womb. And she tells Mary, wow, listen, girl, you are blessed. You are so blessed because you've been chosen. And right after that follows this passage. And what I love about this passage is that Mary has become fully aware of that outpouring of the divine's love into her. She has become fully aware that no matter her circumstances, no matter what lays before her or what has gone on behind her, that God's love is so deep and God's love is so broad that love has always been and will always be present. That love is always an outpouring through us. And all we have to do is open ourselves to receive. In the last part of that verse, she said, God's loving kindness goes on and on. God's loving kindness endures. So I want you to just pause for a moment. And I want you to breathe in, and as you think about this year, I invite you into a shift. I invite you into just a moment of focusing on where you have experienced God's loving kindness. Maybe it was a phone call from someone you've not heard from for a while. Maybe it was a thank you from a store clerk. Where this year have you experienced loving kindness? We forget that there are emissaries all around us. That in fact, each and every one of us is an emissary of that love. Every time you do a kind thing, you are showing up as divine love. Every time you smile, you laugh. Every time you say please and thank you. You know, love doesn't have to be this grand gesture. I believe that love is built on the smallest, kindest acts. Because one small act leads to another, that leads to another, until we are, as my friends, troubadours of divine bliss say, swimming in a sea of it. Swimming in a sea of it. I chose this little wall hanging, because it reminds me to breathe. When I'm disturbed, it would serve me so well if I could remember to breathe. And sometimes I'm really great at it, sometimes not so much. But if I can remember to breathe and to consciously breathe in love. If I could just stop in those difficult moments when I'm frustrated and aggravated and just breathe in and know I'm loved. I'm loved unconditionally. I am loved. Just feel what the shift of energy is, just simply by breathing love. I also appreciate that this little heart is representative of a circle, right? It has no ending and it has no beginning. We talked, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago about God, about what God is. And God is often described as a circle, a presence that has no ending and no beginning. That circumference is everywhere. I would say, whose circumference is everywhere that I am. Everywhere that I am the center of godness. Which means that everywhere I am, I'm also the center of divine love. Wherever I go, as I drive my camera person crazy. Wherever I am, love is. Wherever I am, love is. If we can but remember that there is no ending or beginning of love. That love is. Sarah Bareilles, who's a pop artist, has a Christmas song called Love is Christmas. Love is who we are, and no season can contain it, is one of the lyrics. Love is who we are, and no season can contain it. Isn't that a lovely thought? That no season can contain it. Charles Fillmore, who's the founder of Unity, defines love as the pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family. We are one in God's love. You know, the thing about the power and the presence as a circle is that everyone is within that circle. That if the circumference is everywhere, the circumference is everywhere I am, then nothing can ever be outside the circle of God's love. Think of that for a moment. Nothing can be outside the circle of divine love. My friends, for me, that's grace. That's the graciousness of love. Is that there's nothing outside of it. That is the salvation plan of Unity, by the way, in case you didn't know. Our salvation plan is to understand that we are never outside the circle of divine love. No matter what kind of day we're having, no matter whether there's a pandemic, regardless of our skin color, who we love, what political party we belong to, how we voted, what we're doing, what we're not doing, what we're saying, what we're not saying. There is nothing that can put us outside the circle of love. So think of that in even a broader term. So if nothing is outside of the circle of love, who am I to withdraw my love? Who am I to decide whether or not you are worthy of my love? Really? Who am I to not be love in this world? If there is nothing that is ever outside love. That is the grace of unconditional love. Now, we're not good at it. We're not perfect at it. In fact, I think that it's a journey for most of us. We move deeper and deeper into an understanding that, as Sarah Bareilles said, we are love. We can't help it. We are. It's in our bones. It's in our DNA. It's in our essence. It's who we are. And the journey is that each and every day gets to be Christmas. Each and every day gets to be Christmas when we awaken to the gift of love. Because every day we get to wake up and realize that maybe we didn't do it perfect. Maybe we didn't get it right. But we are still in the circle of God's love. And so we get to try again. We get to move closer and closer to that ideal of perfect love. So that all we do and all we say, all we are, is a mirror of that divine love, that outpouring that is with us each and every moment. And as we realize that love, as we open to receive, we are filled with peace. The peace that passes understanding that we talked about last Sunday. When we stand knowingly in the presence of love, we know that love conquers all. And we have faith. And we have joy. 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 As we welcome love. And so today I remind you that you are in the circle. I remind you to breathe. Every morning, breathe in, knowing that you are the breath of love in this world. This is your gift. Both your gift to receive and, more importantly, your gift to give. With infinite love and gratitude. I'm so grateful that you are in the same circle that I am in on this day. So let's take that a step deeper. And as Sue comes to play, right there. I'm going to invite you to breathe into love. Wherever you are, just close your eyes. Just settle into this moment. Breathe. Just breathe. Think back to your first experience of unconditional love. I think I was 3 or 4. It was a boxer that used to follow me everywhere. I knew that dog loved me no matter whether I was climbing on its back, pulling its toes, dragging its tail. Taking a nap on its belly. Rusty loved me large and small, that have been kind to you for no other reason than as emissaries of the great love. As you breathe in and fill up with that love, oh dear ones, know that this is the love that which created you has for you. This is the presence of love that is always as close to you as your own breath, your own beating heart. As we move into the silence, I invite you to wrap that love around you like angels' wings, like a warm blanket, like a hug. I invite you to simply rest and be in that flow of the outpouring of the Creator's love. My soul lifts up the Lord. My spirit celebrates God, my liberator. For though I'm God's humble servant, God has noticed me. Now and forever, I will be considered blessed by all generations. For the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy, holy, holy is the name of the One. From generation to generation, God's loving kindness endures as I remember who I am.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me, I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
And all God's children said, amen. There is indeed only love. And I want to thank you for all of the ways in the midst of our separation that you've taken time to connect with one another and that you have taken the opportunity to support this, your spiritual home. There is many ways that you can continue to give through your thoughts and prayers, through your tithes. You can give online at unityfw.org. You can download our app, Unity of Fort Wayne. And of course, I'm in the office at least once a week to get the mail. So you can certainly mail a tithe check to 3232 Crescent Avenue. So wherever you are and however you've given to support this community, I invite you to place your hands on your heart and say our prosperity blessing with me. divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. And indeed we are. And so just a couple of announcements. The Christmas market is still going on. We are selling hot chocolate, spiced chai, and pumpkin rolls at the Christmas market, which is in Follinger, over by Follinger Amphitheater. So it's in the amphitheater parking lot above Fantasy of Lights. You do not have to go through the lights to come to the market. You can actually park in the overflow parking lot off of Goshen Road and come into the market for free. There are about 10 vendors there, Unity Fort Wayne Spiritual Center being one of those. We would love for you to come out. They are requiring masks and they are keeping it to 100 at a time. So we would love for you to come out and support us. There are still some availability for helpers. So we have 2 shifts from 5 to 7:30 and from 7:30 until 10. We particularly need some help on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, which are the busiest, most profitable nights for Fantasy of Lights, and we hope will also be the busiest nights that we have at the Christmas market. So we would love to keep our tent open, and the only way that we can keep it open is to have it manned. So if you would like to volunteer for a shift, you can text me at 812-558-1988. It's like an infomercial. Call now, 812-558-1988. And let me know when you would like to work. On Monday nights, we are together on Zoom, on our regular Zoom channel, doing a monthly metaphysical Christmas. So from 6:30 to 7, we do a mindfulness practice. And from 7:30 to about 8:15, 8:30, we talk about the metaphysical meaning of Christmas. And so we hope that you will join us. We are also back on our YouTube channel on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock and on YouTube Live offering meditation. And so we would love for you to join us at 7 on Wednesday nights. We are still having many of the celebrations that we would normally have. They just look different this year. So we will have a Christmas Eve candlelight service. I'm soliciting volunteers to do readings. So if you're interested in participating in the Christmas Eve service, my number is 812-558-1988. You can text or call me and let me know that you'd like to be an angel or Joseph or Mary. We will be Zooming from our homes. I'll be Zooming from Kentucky. But we will light candles. Our musicians are going to be online and they're going to be playing some of your favorite Christmas carols. And we're going to be spending time preparing for this new awakening of a new year and a new life within us. Also, the burning bowl ceremony will be December 27th. All of these activities are not taking place in person. They will all be online. We are online and Zoom and YouTube until the first of the year, and then we'll kind of have to see how things play out as to when we reopen our doors for people. So we invite you to also be present for the burning bowl ceremony. A piece of paper and a lighter, and probably an ashtray or something to drop your ashes in. But we invite you to be online with us for that service as well. All right. Wherever you are, I invite you to put namaste at your hearts, knowing that we are joined together heart to heart as we say the prayer for protection. The light of God enfolds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us too. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine and I'm loved. And so it is. Amen. And Kat will lead us out in a song that's familiar to you.
With a few exchanges of words.